I'm 72 years old, and I lost the chance to say I'm sorry. I don't mean I forgot. I mean, the moment passed and it never came back. That sentence has been sitting with me for years now. It doesn't shout, it doesn't accuse, it just stays. Quiet, heavy, patient. And at this age, you stop pretending time is generous, you feel it narrowing, not in a dramatic way, just in how carefully you move through the day. How often you think, this might be the last time I do this, or see that, or remember them clearly. Bound is, I'm not telling this to make myself feel better. I don't think apologies work that way once the person who needed to hear them is gone. I'm telling it because some truths don't fade if you ignore them. They settle in. My days are slow now. I wake up early, even when I don't need to. I make the same breakfast. I sit in the same chair. I look at the same wall. Routine becomes a kind of companion when people are fewer. There's a lot of time to think. Too much, sometimes. Ballin' when I was younger. When I was younger, I didn't think silence could be permanent. I thought words waited patiently, like tools you could pick up whenever you were ready to use them. I thought apologies would always be there if things ever got serious enough. I didn't understand how fragile timing really is. The person I never apologized to wasn't a stranger. That's what makes it worse. It was someone close, someone woven into the daily fabric of my life for years. Someone I assumed would always be there to talk to. I won't say their name here. Not because it hurts too much, but because this story isn't about them alone. It's about how easy it is to mistake delay for control. Bond, when we first started drifting apart, it didn't feel like damage. It felt like tension, like a phase, like something that would settle if we both just gave it time. I told myself I didn't want to make things worse by bringing it up. I told myself emotions needed to cool before conversations could be productive. I told myself I was being mature. Man, I didn't realize I was being afraid. In my 30s, I was proud of being composed. I didn't yell. I didn't slam doors. I believed calmness meant wisdom. If something bothered me, I swallowed it. If I hurt someone, I waited for it to blow over. That worked until it didn't. And the disagreement itself wasn't extraordinary. No betrayal, no cruelty, just words said the wrong way at the wrong time. Tone, timing, pride. I remember thinking I'll apologize when I'm less angry, when I can say it properly. Plant that day never came. Life filled in the gap. Work, responsibilities, other conversations. The distance between us grew, not because of what happened, but because of what didn't. We still spoke, still saw each other, but something shifted. The warmth cooled, the ease disappeared, and I convinced myself it wasn't permanent. I thought closeness was self-healing. That time would do the work for us. Time did something else instead. Looking back, I can see how many chances there were. Small ones, quiet ones. Moments where a simple I'm sorry would have changed the direction of things. I saw them. I just didn't take them. Ben, I was waiting to feel certain. Certain I was right. Certain they'd receive it well. Certain it wouldn't make me look weak. Pride is very good at disguising itself as dignity. Years passed like that, not angrily, just stiffly. Conversations stayed polite, shallow, safe. I told myself it was enough. Then came the phone call. It wasn't dramatic, no build-up, just information delivered plainly. And illness, serious, moving fast. I remember standing there with the phone in my hand thinking, this is it. This is when I say it, but when I visited, the room felt fragile. They looked smaller than I remembered, tired. I didn't want to add weight. I didn't want to bring up the past when the present already felt heavy. So I waited again. I told myself there would be another visit, another conversation, a better moment. And man, that's the lie we tell ourselves most easily. They died before that moment arrived. There was no Last conversation. No clearing of the air. No chance to say, I was wrong and I wish I'd said this sooner. Banda grief came, but regret followed closely behind. People say losing someone brings clarity. That's true, but it's not the kind you want. It's sharp, exact, unforgiving. And I replayed the past over and over. Every paused conversation, every moment, I chose comfort over honesty. I realized that apologizing wasn't about being right or wrong. It was about preserving something fragile while it still existed. What can't be fixed now is obvious. The words can't be heard. The apology can't be received. Time doesn't bend for understanding. I live with that. At first, I thought regret would soften with time, that I'd learn to carry it better. In some ways, I have. In other ways, it's become part of the furniture of my life. Always there, easy to bump into. And I talk to them sometimes, quietly. Not because I believe they can hear me, but because the words still need somewhere to go. Mind I say the apology anyway. I've learned that unsaid words don't disappear. They just stay inside you. Old age gives you perspective, but it also removes your ability to act on it. You see clearly, but the doors are already closed. That's the cruel balance of it. I don't think of myself as a cruel person. I wasn't careless. I didn't intend harm. I just waited too long to be vulnerable. That's what apologies require. Vulnerability. The willingness to be uncomfortable now instead of regretful later. I didn't have that willingness then. Now I have it, but no one left who needs it from me. I've tried to make peace with that. Some days I succeed. Some days I don't. Loneliness in old age isn't just about being alone. It's about carrying conversations that never happened. I see people my age now arguing over small things, holding grudges, waiting for the other person to blink. First, I recognize myself in them. I want to tell them what it costs. But advice from someone my age often sounds like noise to people who still believe time is flexible. Well, I believe that too. If you're listening to this, I'm not asking you to apologize to everyone in your life. I don't even know your situation. I'm just telling you what I learned the hard way. Waiting to say I'm sorry doesn't protect you. It just risks losing the chance entirely. Okay, you don't need perfect words. You don't need perfect timing. You just need the person to still be there. I thought there would always be another moment, another visit, another call. There wasn't. And now at Chishar, my life is quieter. I move more slowly. I speak more carefully. I don't postpone the important words anymore, not because I'm brave, because I've seen what happens when you don't